Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? We have another, I guess, TA fight that has started happening here. Continuation from the last video where they were doing their staging area prep just northwest of here for where we're looking now. And you got Boogeyman here from S3. Ended up just taking, what, about 10 or 12 marches there. A few other players, and now TA has started working in their advance guard here southwest into more of the POS kind of forefront, or I'd say northern territory. Oh, look, we got Rylif who just TP'd in. Again, TA probably, I would say, a little bit lower here on your on amount of troops total, just because, again, they have to do a farther walk than POS does. In order to replenish. So the important thing is really just trying not to overextend in these situations. Udu POS throwing down the bear right now for TA. Again, man, TA has already done a good amount of damage, right? Essentially what happened is POS had a bunch of players that were building, I believe, building the keep. And TA's staging area kind of right around here. You can still see some people are still AFK, unfortunately. But they basically ended up going this. They did this type of a thing where they went east-southeast, and then east, and they kind of staged right here, and then they went southwest-west over here to the keep, killed a bunch of players that were building, and then just kind of started coming all the way through the buildings here for just another skirmish to go ahead and fight. So this has been this has been some good stuff. Oh jeez. Ooh. Man. Yeah, we're going to have to see exactly how this one is going to play out. However, it doesn't seem like there's too many players on the field right now. Again, mostly from what we're seeing up here is TA. I don't know how many people are... I don't think anyone can actually go in the keep until it finishes, so I don't think they necessarily have to worry about that. And then the bear... Oh gosh, did they just like kill that bear super fast and just focus it? That is shocking. Again, right, you can see TA is going to have to do a pretty far run here. Still have some players here from POS that they can kind of clean up here and there. So really, I think the biggest enjoyment here for them is probably going to be just trying to attack as many open field players as they can. I mean, really that should be the focus. Like, as we've talked about before, right, really trying to create those advantages for yourself where you're doing more kind of a ratio, like more in favor ratio fights. We've touched on this before where you're looking for those 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 5-on-2s, 6-on-3s, etc. Oh, wow. So here we go, man. POS getting a little replenish here as well, right? So essentially kind of in these situations, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for TA, like in this situation with Da-Da-Da, doesn't really make a lot of sense for him to push or overextend by himself because now he's basically just coming into this situation where he's going to be fighting kind of this 4-on-10, if you will, right? When you're pushing in an advanced way where you are getting farther and farther away from your replenishing site, right? Meaning that if you look at POS's situation, because TA has to run all the way, and just to kind of give you some context, right? Because TA is up here, right? So TA is right here. POS is all the way here. That's a far walk for TA to have to make. So the idea is that if you're trying to get max value or max return on your investment, then you do not, like, it's like, I don't know if anyone's seen that movie Kingdom of Heaven, right? Great movie, by the way. A lot of big actors in it. It's one of my favorite movies I really like watching. And one of the things that Orlando Bloom, who plays the actor, who plays one of the main male actors in it, is that when a big fight is about to happen, a little bit closer towards the end of the movie, right, he basically says that this army has to kind of go from water source to water source, right? So it's going to take them a couple days to kind of get to where their kingdom is at, and before the big battle starts. And I think that there's a lot of wisdom in that when you think about kind of moving away from your source, right? And in this case, TA source is their ability, their replenishment source. How quickly can they re-engage and get more troops back in the fight? So this is why, if anything, this is probably more of a guide video on as far as what it's turning into, because I just don't think it's going to be that long. That will be probably recording this for the brief interactions. But the kicker is that if you are going to fight a battle and you have to walk a far distance, you want to get a max return on your investment, and that means you want to do as much damage as possible where by the time you either disengage and withdraw or all of your troops are dead, you've outputted, twice or three times the amount of damage as they have on your units because you're looking for favorable matchups. That's really the kicker here, and what I hope to be the big takeaway. Again, cool to see another mini fight here from TA, but at least from what I observed, right, it wasn't done, in my opinion, at least in the most tactical and the most strategic way that it could have been done, because they definitely had the opportunity to do so. I think one of the things I liked was kind of the transition that they ended up making, right, where they kind of used this as their staging area, and then they worked all the way around here to basically look for more of a favorable entrance into all of the POS players that were attacking the keep. That's something that I thought was actually a really smart move, because they would have been able to attack as they did and kill off, from what it seemed like, quite a few players where their attention would have been elsewhere, and you're just kind of going and really getting free kills at that point, right? So you're able to kind of look for those pockets of juiciness, if you will, and just doing a lot of arguable free hits. So now you have TA who, if we kind of look, right, a lot of them are retreating, kind of heading back now to their main base of operations. And again, if I was to give any advice here beyond kind of the general guide video premise that we're more or less kind of going along with now, is, when you're doing that and you're looking to kind of position yourself in more of kind of a forward operating base type system, or forwarding base area, right? Be sure that you are also at the same time expanding territory, right? In this case, TA should be focusing on expanding territory here because they have the ability to do so, right? Why not go through here and go through the bridge? Why not do this route where you go this bridge and then you come down the mountain range and you just come straight through, and then you can kind of go around Forbidden, right? Maybe Forbidden goes south and they take this route, because remember, you have two routes. This is why it's important to kind of map things out ahead of time. Right? It's, if you're going to ally with people, you have to have someone who's there to do. I mean, honestly, part of me really thinks that the territory mapping in COD is a little bit more impactful than possibly in Rock, just because of some of the elevation differences, the different pathings that you can take from the elevation. It's not just kind of a flat map and then it's just a matter of moving. I like the fact that there has to be some level of like strategic and tactical awareness for what the approach is and how things are going about, where an alliance is going to go on this route. It's playing Jake the Snake, right, where you have your path that goes here, your path goes here, and you kind of have to figure out how to cohabitate with each other. So if anything, that's my spiel for this short video. We'll have to see what ends up happening. I heard something might be happening around 17 UTC. That's still a little bit ways away. Just to kind of give you guys a little insight here, it does look like NT45. I think, at least I thought they were building something. Never mind. I guess they haven't started really pushing yet from their area. I actually thought they were. And then we have Forbidden. Just to give you a brief update here, I don't know if they've started doing another flag yet. I think they're building a keep right now, and I don't know if they've already upgraded their tower or not. Let's see here. Oh, they did. You can see the cannons on it. So they did update that, and then they got about 6.5 minutes here until the keep is done. So I'm imagining once that happens, they'll probably start building another one. And then, yeah, we're going to have to see. Oh, wow, something's going on over there in the other area. TA just destroyed a flag, and then yeah, like I said, man, I'm not sure what other type of advancements are happening. I don't know if YFT is really pushing up. It hasn't seemed as such. Let's see here. Are any of them making more flags? Yeah, they're not. So yeah, Forbidden. Oh wow, they just did a rally on that city. So yeah, maybe they're just doing back-to-back rallies. In that case, we'll have to say. I know TA, like we mentioned before in the previous video, they did some rallies. I just don't think anyone else is really pushing. I don't know what K4NG is doing. UNT, they're right here next to YFT, so I'm not really sure what kind of building path they have going on, because they're kind of maybe stumped here. It just depends, right? Sometimes if you're building down a pass like this, part of me feels like you can do half and half, right? Like you could build your flag over here, and then someone can build their flag over here, and then you're kind of sharing going down the path. So maybe that can work. I guess they would really just have to test that out and see if they're able to see if you're able to kind of 2-for-1 on a bridge, up or down. But yeah, man, we'll see. Like I said, the fighting is really, I think, just beginning. You got NT45, who's probably going to end up fighting Unit and Holy here on this side. You got Forbidden, who's probably going to be taking on YFT, Holy, as well, and then maybe some of POS, and then hopefully TA can start building down south, and they can kind of figure out the territory. Or what they could do, right? Here's another option that they could do, is that TA can just build a fort right here next to Forbidden. That's an option. Or they can build it between Forbidden and NT45 to get more of an advanced position, and then they just have everyone defend. That way they can now operate off of a more forward operating base, and then start basically just circle flagging, like just extend, right? So you do a layer of flags around, then you do another layer of flags around. Once you get enough, then you start building, because that basically double and triple strengthens them getting to your CF. So I think there's a few ways they really can approach it. They just need to make sure whatever they do that they have protection, and they're going to be able to get the max amount of players online to do building if they opt for that route, which may end up being better than them doing the walks. If they don't want to end up flagging out all this way, it could be faster just to do another fort plant. With that in mind, man, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think, right? When you're looking at everything playing out the way it is right now, what do you also think is the optimum way that TA can get in the fight? How can NT45, 4BDN, TA kind of work their northern route out? And then on the flip side, what do you think the southern alliances need to do? Because right now it is kind of looking like almost, I haven't done like the power comparisons yet for the north and southern alliances, but at least on paper, it somewhat feels that this could be a great and kind of fairish, more even fight. And if that's the case, I am looking forward to that. I'm always a fan of that, because I think that's where we're going to get the most amount of PvP throughout the longest amount of time in a kingdom, compared to just kind of quick and short battles or one and done overwhelming fights, and then it just basically demoralizes everyone. So with that in mind, that's it for me. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Until next time, I will catch you later.